All right. Welcome to our webinar. Today we're going to be discussing exploring power, trust, and conflict over the life cycle of partnership development. And I'm Michelle Allen. I'm an associate professor at the University of Minnesota, and I'm the academic partner in the project Padres Informados, Jóvenes Preparados, that we are going to be talking about today.
And I'm Maria Verónica Suetas, and I'm the medical director of Akiparati. So my life resides on Hennepin Healthcare, which is a hospital that it's serving as a safety net function in the community. So I'm the community partner.
And we've been working together for at least 12 years on the Padres Informados project. And this partnership has evolved over time. How we work together has evolved over time. And this is one way that we're sharing back what we've learned about partnership development and how to do participatory research in a way that benefits all partners. So just to give you a little bit of a sense what Padres Informados is about, we are an NIH-funded study. The aim is to prevent tobacco and other substance use among Latino youth, and we're really family-focused. So we work with parenting, we work on family skills training, and we work on youth development within a culturally grounded context.
So kind of like what we wanted to explore with you today and to focus is what are the foundations of community-based participatory research partnerships and how we build them from the scratch. So CBPR is an approach, right? It's an approach to research that is different because it creates this equitable field involving the partners, every participant in all aspects, from making the question, from how to approach the question, like considering who gets involved. So it's looking at this new wave of negotiating and putting things on the agenda in the research processes where everyone shares his expertise, where everyone have knowledge and have something to contribute to the development of the intervention that will benefit the whole community. So it's sort of like leveling the field around the table, and it's getting everyone seated at the table, but really with active listening. And we truly, truly believe, and with the last year, right, like this theme has been evolving more and more. But from the get-go, we felt like community-based participatory research per se, as a process, is a social justice enterprise. And there's something that you gain outside of like the aim of the research. You're achieving other goals just by acknowledging and following the processes of CBPR. Because you're often working with communities and populations that have been made vulnerable by social determinant of health, right? And by that cyclone, by that force that distributes those social determinant of health in an unequal form or manner, and grants voice and generates social capital. And I love to say a voice disempowerment, right? But I also like to say like in a positive way, like foster activation and give people the voice again like they always had, but now like they allow them to use it loud and clear once again. So recognizes these historical and research injustices, right, where people voices and opinions and they has been dismissed, and bring them to the front and the center of the collaboration.
So in long-standing partnerships like ours, how do partnerships develop over time? So if you remember Erik Erikson's stages of psychosocial development, at each of those 8 stages, individuals as people have to complete concrete tasks in order to move smoothly to the next stage of development. And if the foundational tasks are not achieved, conflict or dissonance might propel growth to the next stage. And we really liked that metaphor as a way to think about partnership development, first of all, because we're working in adolescent health. So that kind of developmental approach made sense to us. And also that idea that sometimes conflict or dissonance can be a good thing also resonated for us. And there are some ways, though, that Erickson's stage doesn't work so well. And mostly that's because it's a very linear model. And we know that partnership development is iterative as you add new people, as new things evolve in the partnership. So just to remind you what those stages look like in terms of individual development, they're associated with what we think about individual moving through different life stages, but there's sort of a task that's necessary to be achieved at each of those stages. And what we've done is taken that and worked again from infancy, and we've kind of kept those human developmental ideas to help kind of give a sense of what we're talking about in terms of partnerships. When you think about infants, for example, at the bottom of these building blocks of stages, you think about that importance of developing trust, security, optimism, and that works as well in a partnership. Those are sort of the early tasks that you have to achieve. And then you move up through each of these stages that we'll describe in a bit more detail.
And with the times, and for the record, we're in 2018. What I love about this partnership, like we keep presenting and presenting from probably the last 8 years, I cannot even remember. It's like this, how well the developmental concept was able to reinforce what we were trying to say through the importance of kind of pay attention about how the group is developing. And I love that because it brings this extra force of nurturing and compassion, right? Like sometimes when you have structures coming from a leadership approach, sometimes it gets missed about how much emphasis you need to put as a group and how you belong together. And what you are creating, it's an extra identity for yourself and a place where you belong. And that works perfectly. So we want you to kind of think about this introduction that we have presented to you and this idea, right, about this new framework. And in the second segment, after you read more in detail about these stages and the work that we have created, we are going to present you live how we define the different stages and how we went through all the developing and growing Padres Informados, Jóvenes Preparados. Thank you.